Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode I'm going to be recapping the 10th Doctor Adventures Out of Time. But before I do, I'm recording this episode on the 17th of February 2026, and before I actually start my recap, I should explain what Out of Time is. So it was a kind of a sub-range of the 10th Doctor Adventures that was made during the pandemic, because David Tennant was able to record some Big Finish audios and kind of his multi-Doctor stories where he meets the 4th, 5th and 6th Doctors in several stories featuring the Daleks, Cybermen and Weeping Angels. One episode was released a year, and this was the first 10th Doctor Adventures release that we'd had since the 10th Doctor Adventures Series 3, so a year and a bit between them. Because obviously, unlike some of the classic Doctors, David Tennant is still working quite a lot, which is kind of, we don't tend to get many 10th Doctor Adventures releases, so kind of that kind of during the pandemic, it was one of the only silver linings was that because of it, David Tennant couldn't work as an actor, so he did some Big Finish audios. So yes, we start off with Out of Time 1, which was released in August 2020 and was written by Matt Fitton, which has the following synopsis. The Cathedral of Contemplation is an enigma existing outside time. It turns through history, opening its doors across its universe to offer solace to those in need. Occasionally, the Doctor drops in when he's avoiding his destiny. It's an ideal place to get some perspective, only this time he's already there from several lives earlier. It's when dimension barriers break down, his past and present collide, and when the Daleks invade and commandeer the Cathedral, two Doctors must unite to stop them or face extermination twice over. This episode was recorded on the 26th of March and 4th of May 2020, and stars David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, Tom Baker as the 4th Doctor, and Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks. And before I spoil the 10th Doctor Adventures Out of Time 1, here's the trailer.
Welcome to the Cathedral of Contemplation.
A spinning cathedral outside history itself. Layers of space-time, pockets of reality, all perfectly balanced and interconnected.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, Out of Time.
It looks like a dimension barrier failure. Normally imperceptible, but with visitors crisscrossing space and time.
Oh, sorry. Wrong chapel. I was looking for the little shop. Oh.
Fast. Temporal energy discharge. Outside the door.
What do they think is coming?
What have you got there?
Sonic's scientific instrument. I really should find a way back.
They don't give up. They're relentless. Unstoppable.
In my experience, no one's unstoppable, only ever unreasonable.
The doorway's connecting to a corridor. Time corridor.
I'd advise you to stay back.
You're very well informed. What did you say you were?
A doctor. A travelling doctor, much like yourself.
If the Daleks get in and take over the cathedral, they would have the means to appear anywhere and anywhere.
Instant Dalek invasions just add slaughter.
Scan destinations. With this device, the Daleks will win this war and all wars.
Get out of there!
Get back, Doctor! It's breaking through!
Big Finish. We love stories.
Nicely done, Doctor.
Why, thank you, Doctor. Allons-y!
That was the trailer for the 10th Doctor Adventures Out of Time 1, which was kind of the first time that David Tennant's 10th Doctor has got a multi-Doctor story set within his era, because obviously he did appear in the 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor, alongside Matt Smith's 11th Doctor and John Hurt's War Doctor, but kind of during his era there was no crossing with other Doctors. Obviously Christopher Eccleston had just left, and kind of there hadn't been another Doctor previous to that, so it was nice. And kind of the highlight of this episode is the scenes between the 10th and 4th Doctors, kind of mentions of the past and the future, as I spoke about in this, or as alluded to in the Series 3 recap, that kind of we knew exactly where those stories were set. This seems to be set during those 2009 specials with these Out of Time ones, as are kind of the next episodes, the next few releases and what I'm going to talk about in future episodes featuring the 10th Doctor kind of also seem to fit in that space, because it's a long way going from the end of Series 4 in the middle of 2008 to kind of the end of time at the end of 2009, beginning 2010. So there's a quite big gap there where you can have stories with the 10th Doctor travelling by himself. So so that was Out of Time. Well, obviously the Daleks as well as the highlight of this, and obviously the 4th and 10th Doctors have had Dalek stories previously, but this is the 10th Doctor's first Dalek story for Big Finish, so that was great. So now we move on to Out of Time 2, where the 10th Doctor meets the 5th Doctor in The Gates of Hell, which was released just under a year later from Out of Time 1 in June 2021, with the following synopsis. Paris 1809, the 5th Doctor takes a tour of the catacombs and meets a sassy time agent doing the same. Paris 1944, the 10th Doctor misses his target and lands in occupied France. He hides from the Nazis in the catacombs. A collision of two Doctors' timelines triggers a temporal catastrophe, granting the Cybermen dominion over the Earth. The Doctors must travel back in time to find the source of the cyber invasion and close the gates of hell. This set was recorded on the 30th of June 2022, about a year in advance, kind of back to what we were talking about as well with David Tennant being busy, but they kind of, I think they bulk recorded as much as they can. I think they did with some episodes that I'll talk about in future episodes, 2-3 years away, because they just had David Tennant, so they thought that they should just record some audios while they had the chance. And this episode does star David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor, and Nicholas Briggs as the Cybermen. So before I do spoil Out of Time 2, The Gates of Hell, here's the trailer.
We have been expecting you, Doctor.
From Big Finish Productions,
We have been expecting you for some time.
Doctor Who, Out of Time 2.
I'm with British intelligence. Look, here's my ID.
Commander Fleming?
Yep, that's what it says.
Welcome to Paris.
This is not how I remember the catacombs.
I have witnessed its transformation from the subterranean quarries of my childhood to this magnificent ossuary.
And who would that be?
Blue box, robot dog.
Yes, the blue box bit is correct, but I no longer have a robot dog.
Oh, shame. I love robot dogs.
Unauthorized bio units located in Sector 3.
You have to go! Something's coming, something dangerous!
Everybody, please make your way to the exit in an orderly...
It's me he's after. We need to distract him, lead him away from the others, or it'll be a massacre.
Are those?
Cybermen. Dozens of them.
What's happening?
Does this house have a wine cellar?
Of course. What is this about?
No time to explain.
Big Finish. We love stories.
The fact that Paris and quite possibly the Earth has been taken over by Cybermen.
Oh, yeah.
That World War II isn't happening, that about 1 billion fixed points in time have been rubbed out of existence, and that the effect of all this could destroy the entire universe.
Well, we need to fix it.
Obviously.
That was the trailer for Out of Time 2, The Gates of Hell, and similar to its predecessor, Out of Time 1, kind of the highlight of this episode is kind of having the 5th and 10th Doctors interact, because obviously, as I spoke about before, that kind of the 10th Doctor didn't get any of the classic Doctors appearing during his era on TV, so it is nice to kind of remedy that during the Big Finish audios and kind of having, unfortunately, the COVID pandemic making this happen, basically, because kind of Out of Time 1 was planned before COVID, and then when they realised that they would have David Tennant for the foreseeable future, that they kind of went mad with recording as many episodes as they can, as will become clear in this episode and future episodes. And also the 10th Doctor and 5th Doctor kind of have already faced the Cybermen, but obviously this is the first time that the 10th Doctor's faced the Cybermen on audio, and only time, I think, as of time of recording. Who knows? As I've spoken about before, I've given up trying to predict Big Finish's marketing strategy, because as of time of recording, that hopefully that's changed by the time you're seeing this episode or listening to this episode, that of this episode getting released, that we still don't know what Dark Gallifrey Series 5 is. We don't know which Doctor will be appearing, who it's going to be centred on. So, yeah, it's an interesting one, whereas things have been announced for way more future. It's just one of those things that kind of is I just don't think about too much, because it would do my head in, kind of going, because if I was the marketer, I would go, I'd do it in order. I'd go, what's the first thing that we haven't announced yet? Let's announce that, then we go on from there, which sometimes they used to felt like they were doing, and then kind of sometimes they don't. So yeah, but now it's time on to the third and final instalment of Out of Time, that being Out of Time 3 Wink, which is one of the most recent 10th Doctor Adventures releases, as it was released in June 2022 and written by Lisa McMullen, with the following synopsis. When the 6th Doctor goes sightseeing on Lugus Silveria, he finds himself in a place where nothing is visible at all, only all-encompassing light. The 10th Doctor is drawn in by a temporal anomaly, and the two Doctors meet a species with no sense of sight, living in a city surrounded by weeping angels. This episode was recorded on the 8th of July 2020, so obviously basically 2 years before it would be released, and stars David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, as well as Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor. So before I do spoil Out of Time 3 Week, which I have covered previously on the channel, let's go and check that episode out if you haven't already. Here's the trailer.
Hello, I'm the Doctor.
Did you say a doctor or...
The Doctor. Hello. What?
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who Out of Time 3 Wink.
You're not, by any chance, a Time Lord?
Oh, depends who's asking.
The Doctor.
Hey! Over here! Give us a hand with these statues!
No! Stop!
These people can't see.
We can't.
What?
They have no concept of sight. Why would they? No need of it.
What are you talking about? Hello, this is Astra. Where are you, Dax?
Ask him about the angels. Ask him if any of them have been moved.
Hurry up! I am. The gates are shut.
It's okay. They'll open automatically as we reach them.
A little more appreciation, if you don't mind. We just escaped two of the deadliest time assassins in the universe.
Yes. Very good.
The Weeping Angels. To all intents and purposes, ordinary stone statues, but only when you're looking at them. The minute you turn your head, the minute you so much as blink.
They're made of stone. It doesn't matter where they're facing. They can't move.
They can. They might.
And if you carry on, they definitely will. Where is that angel now?
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for the 10th Doctor Adventures Out of Time 3 Wink, which kind of the highlight of this episode. I feel like I'm repeating myself in this episode, I do apologise, is kind of the interactions between the 6th and 10th Doctors, and obviously this being the 10th Doctor reuniting of sorts with the Weeping Angels, obviously for the first time at Big Finish, because Weeping Angels they don't speak, so it is an interesting villain to have in an audio story, whereas on screen you can see them, so that's nice. And kind of having the 6th Doctor face the Weeping Angels, who's a new series monster. Obviously there's a classic Doctor's new monster set kind of made for range for that, which I will get to in a future episode, but yeah, kind of it was nice to have them, and 10 and 6, obviously, as I spoke about in when I was discussing Out of Time 1, that kind of this seems to be set for the 10th Doctor, at least during his time between the events of Series 4 and the 2009 specials, because the 2009 specials, yes, there was kind of, it's 3 stories really. We don't know how close together they were. We don't know kind of where the gaps are. That could have been like the 10th Doctor appears in the Sarah Jane Adventures. Like it kind of could be any time during that, so there is a big gap for that. But yeah, that's kind of it. So before I start waffling and talk about multi-Doctor stories, I get very excited. But yes, let me know what you thought of the Out of Time releases from the 10th Doctor Adventures if you've listened to them, my recap if you didn't, and you can put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below, and I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.